collecting cars is cheap compared to this. And get this, only 12 people in the world actually do it. So while most of us are chilling on weekends, maybe playing some golf or binge-watching Netflix, billionaires? They're casually dropping $50 million on hobbies you've probably never even heard of. Today, we're diving into the most insanely expensive hobbies of the ultra-wealthy. Stuff that makes buying a Ferrari look like, well, pocket change. Alright, let's kick things off with yacht racing. But we're not talking about your regular weekend sailing here. This is America's hot-level competition. Larry Ellison, the guy who founded Oracle, yeah, he dropped over $300 million on his yacht racing team alone. But here's where it gets crazy. That's just for the boat and the team. When you factor in logistics, travel, crew salaries, some billionaires are spending $500 million on this. Each one of these racing yachts costs $8 to $10 million bucks. Oh, and they crash, like frequently. Number 2, private space programs. Now, we're not talking about just buying a ticket on Virgin Galactic for 450 grand. We're talking about billionaires literally starting their own space companies as hobbies. Elon with SpaceX, Bezos with Blue Origin, you get the idea. Bezos has been funding Blue Origin with about $1 billion per year. Yeah, you heard that right. Billion with a B, straight from his Amazon stock sales. Dennis Tito became the first space tourist back in 2001, paid $20 million. Today, a seat on a SpaceX mission runs you around $55 million. And get this, you're not just paying for the flight. There's months of training, medical tests, custom spacesuits. All of that adds millions more to your bill. Now let's talk car collecting. You might be thinking, oh yeah, rich people love their Ferraris. But we're not talking about owning one or two here. Jay Leno's got over 180 cars and 160 motorcycles. The Sultan of Brunei tries 7,000 vehicles worth over $5 billion. Billion. A 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO sold for $48.4 million. And there's only 36 of these babies ever made. Storage alone costs a fortune. Climate-controlled garages, top-tier security systems, insurance policies running into the millions every single year. And maintenance? Specialized mechanics literally fly in from Italy or Germany, charging $500 to $1,000 per hour. Per hour. Here's the kicker though. Some collectors never even drive their cars. They just look at them. $30 million for something you never use. Ultimate flex. Want to race these vintage beauties? Events like the Mille Miglia or Pebble Beach require you to prove you own vehicles worth tens of millions just to enter. Okay, art collecting. This is where things get absolutely insane. 2017, Leonardo da Vinci's painting sells for $450.3 million. That's $500 million for one painting. Bought by Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, by the way. But serious collectors? They're spending millions on climate-controlled private galleries, round-the-clock armed security, and insurance policies costing hundreds of thousands annually. Art advisors charge over 500 grand a year just for their expertise. And authenticating a single piece? That'll run you $100,000. Here's what really blows my mind. Some billionaires buy art they can never even display publicly. Literally billions of dollars worth just sitting in secret climate-controlled vaults. And when two billionaires both want the same piece at auction, pure ego drives prices up by tens of millions in just a few minutes of bidding. Horse racing and breeding? They call it the sport of kings for a reason. The priciest racehorse ever sold? $70 million. But that's literally just the beginning. Building training facilities costs $5 to $10 million, and then millions more every year just to maintain them. But that's literally just the beginning. Building training facilities costs $5 to $10 million, and then millions more every year just to maintain them. Now, breeding is a whole different ballgame. Stud fees for champion horses can hit $300,000 per breeding session. There was this horse named Galileo, one of the most successful studs ever, reportedly earned over $650 million in breeding fees during his lifetime. And the crazy part? Most owners actually lose money on this. It's not about profit, it's about prestige. You're literally buying a championship. Buying a private island sounds simple, right? But billionaires don't just buy small islands. They buy massive ones and completely transform them. Larry Ellison bought 98% of Lanai Kauai, that's Hawaii's sixth largest island, for $300 million. Then he dropped another $450 million developing it. Luxury resorts, golf courses, completely renovating the island's infrastructure. Richard Branson's Necker Island cost him $180,000 back in 1978. But he's pumped over $100 million into developing it since then. The ongoing costs are absolutely staggering. Staff salaries alone, caretakers, security, maintenance crews, that's $2 to $5 million every year. Boats and helicopters just for getting to and from the island, $500,000 plus in yearly maintenance. Environmental conservation efforts, another $500,000 minimum.
And here's the thing, most of these islands generate zero income. Imagine dropping $500 million on a vacation home you maybe use 2 weeks out of the entire year.
Wine collecting is way more expensive than most people realize. The priciest bottle ever sold, a 1945 Romanée Conti that went for $558,000. Just building a proper wine cellar with perfect temperature and humidity control, that's $500,000 to $5 million right there. Filling it up with rare wines, depending on how ambitious you are, you're looking at $5 to $50 million. Annual climate control costs can hit $100,000. Insurance? Another $100,000 plus. Want a professional sommelier on staff? That's $150,000 to $300,000. Some billionaires go all in and buy entire vineyards as part of the hobby. Chateau d'Yquem, one of the most prestigious, was valued at over $100 million. But here's the risk. Wine can spoil. Corks fail. A $100,000 bottle can literally turn into vinegar overnight. It's like gambling, but with fancy grape. The most obsessed collectors hire full-time wine advisors who jet around the world hunting rare bottles at auctions and private sales. We're talking $5 to $10 million a year just buying new bottles. All right, final one, collecting experiences. This is about the Explorer's Grand Slam, climbing the 7 summits and reaching both poles. Total cost? Easily $1 to $2 million. A Mount Everest expedition alone runs you $100,000 to $200,000. All right, final one, collecting experiences. This is about the Explorer's Grand Slam, climbing the 7 summits and reaching both poles. Total cost? Easily $1 to $2 million. A Mount Everest expedition alone runs you $100,000 to $200,000. Antarctica expedition, $50,000 to $100,000. Hiring private guides and Sherpas? Add another $200,000 plus to that bill. Follow Hidden High Life. We expose what stays hidden.